Hey guys, Sean McHalo bro here. So something like possibly unprecedented in gaming is happening right now with Halo Infinite, which is simply that here we have a game that on paper almost should have been doomed to fail, right? A game that launches after many, many years with a minimal amount of content in the multiplayer, and then after 6 months, the studio is unable to deliver enough content that, your typical Halo fan can say, yeah, I'm satisfied with this. Pretty much no one is happy that season 2 is going to be 6 months. Yet despite this, a day after the Halo Infinite season 2 Lone Wolves live stream, it seems as though the Halo community is happy. It's happier than it's been possibly since the game came out. So the only question is, how is this happening? What's going on? Because even me, like Halo Infinite to me it's a very bittersweet game to me. It's bittersweet because the content we want is going to come, right? Like season 2, it's less than a week away. We're going to get a lot of new content, Well, I guess maybe not a lot, but you get what I'm saying. But at the same time, we had to wait so long for it, and then we're going to have to wait a long amount of time to get any more content. That's what makes Halo Infinite bittersweet to me. It's like, I know we're going to get not all of what we want, but a lot of what we want, but it's just going to take like a very long time. So when it finally comes, you're like, oh, fine. Why'd you make me wait? But thank you. And that's how I felt watching the live stream yesterday. It felt very bittersweet to me. Like, not gonna lie, I'm still a little salty about this game. I can't help it. I can't delete my memory, right? Like, I can't delete all my memories with every single Halo game, every single launch, and just seeing, the state that Halo Infinite launched and how long it's going to take to fix it. So I can't erase my memories. I'm still salty. However, I did walk away from the stream like, hey, maybe everything will be okay. And that's all because of Joe Staten. From the outside looking in, it really does seem like Joe Staten is going to pull off the impossible and somehow save Halo Infinite. And yes, I say save because I think without Joe there, his leadership, not just the stuff that he's been doing over at 343, but just his image and, like quite literally the clout that he carries, right? Just the way he speaks and everything he does, he makes people feel better. And the fact is that feelings are way more important than the facts because, again, on paper, Halo Infinite, really should be a disaster. Truly. Especially considering Season 2 is going to be 6 more months. But again, that's the thing. Feelings are more important. And from what I can see, the Halo community loved Joe Staten's appearance yesterday during the live stream. And one of the things that I love the most about it is finally we got someone, ahead of 343 right at the top, comes out and speaks to us, right? I've been calling for this for quite a while. And this is why. It's because if somebody comes out and they're on video and they speak to the community, they can set the tone. It's like people want less negativity. They want less craziness, right? Well, someone's got to set the tone. And the fact is that where has Bonnie Ross been, right? Totally absent, okay? And she's the head of 343. She never came out and did one of these live streams to help set the tone and talk directly to the fans. Even Frank O'Connor, another one at the top of 343. What do we get from him? We got some Facebook post where he's just like, yeah, we hear you, right? Nothing. But finally, someone at the top, Joe came out, spoke to us, okay? It's being interpreted as honesty. In my opinion, you can watch the last video I did on it. I don't know, maybe it's because I know more stuff, but I'm like, I don't feel like I got the full picture. But who cares, bro? I'm self-aware enough to understand that it doesn't always matter what I think, right? At all. The fact is that everybody loved Joe Staten's appearance yesterday. And that trumps my personal feelings about it. But again, this is what I'm talking about. Look what happens when somebody comes out from the top of 343, speaks to the fans, okay, gives what people believe and feel is honesty. It sets the tone. And then now overnight, everybody feels way better about the game, right? Way better about the future of Halo, including myself. I do feel better. You could just not take it away from Joe. Overnight, he basically single-handedly made everybody feel way better. And that's the point I'm trying to make here is that feelings matter more than facts. If we feel better about this game, we're going to be able to wait longer for stuff to finally come out. It sounds silly, but this is just how people are, all right? Feelings matter. And the thing I'm most impressed with about Joe is like I've said multiple times in this video, this game seemed like it was doomed. Like if you look at it on paper, but somehow he's found a way to save it. And I think one of the ways he's saving it is he has decided to use the multiplayer to deliver more story. Because, and some of you guys aren't gonna like this, some of you guys have heard me say this before. Look what's totally absent from the roadmap. All right, pop quiz. What's absent from the roadmap? And what was absent from this live stream? And what has been absent about from anything that they have said so far about this game over the past 6 months? What is absent? Quick, what is it? Campaign DLC. Where is the campaign DLC? Just like this season being 6 months from them not saying anything, when 343 doesn't say anything, the news ain't good. I'm telling you that. The fact that campaign DLC has not been mentioned anywhere indicates to me that there are no plans for any campaign DLC. And I think the reason for this is that look how much 343 is struggling just to get us a season out, like maps and modes and stuff like that. To create more campaign, to do campaign DLC, it would be so much more work. It really would, because they would have to make the campaign DLC, it would have to be substantial enough that people would be happy with it, right? I did hear from a source that like making a solid piece, a substantial piece of campaign DLC for Halo Infinite, it would take like potentially 2 to 3 years. And 2 to 3 years on this game, look, I think things are going to be better, but there's no guarantee, right? Like I said in another video, games get abandoned and sort of like canceled all the time. So to commit that many resources for more campaign that's going to take 2 to 3 more years, that's a risky proposition, probably hard for 343 to even sell to Microsoft. So it's like, damn, what do? I think Joe figured it out. You deliver story through the multiplayer. It's just a lot easier to do, some trailers, and then we're obviously going to be doing some kind of like interactive thing in season 2, some kind of events. I think we might actually get our first like PvE type thing in season 2. I think it might be on Breaker. That's just my guess though. I don't know for sure. But the fact is that, that little teaser that we got, from the live stream yesterday, people went crazy over that. Halo fans, let's just be honest, like when it comes to Halo, we will get excited over the most like tiny piece of content. And so this strategy of delivering story like through multiplayer, I think it's a great strategy and it's gonna work. And as far as we know, Joe is one of the main people or the person responsible for going in this direction. But to try and conclude here, Halo Infinite, the main thing it needs right now is time. 343 is basically out of time, right? Fans are very impatient, but it's gonna take time to get all this stuff out, right? Like these are just target dates and all this stuff. So it's like, damn, the only thing that can save this game is to make people wait, right? Like this is the only option we have is to wait. And Joe Staten has succeeded in making people feel better about the wait. And in my opinion, that is like almost achieving the impossible. Because, people can say all they want. Oh, they appreciate the honesty and everything in his answers during the live stream. The fact is that like a lot of his answers were very vague, it was like, oh, we weren't happy to show the roadmap. Oh, I appreciate your honesty. What do you mean? Of course they're not happy to show the roadmap, but it's like, we wanted to know why is it taking so long to get this content going? And in that regard, we got very vague answers. We didn't really get much. But again, see, I'm analyzing it like I'm trying to look at it more factually, objectively. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the feelings, okay? And the fact is that his answers, even if I feel like they weren't substantial enough, they still succeeded in making everyone feel better, okay? To the point that you got Joe Staten appreciation on Reddit, right? And so it's bittersweet. I'm like, oh, you guys are really going to accept these like very basic answers that don't really tell us anything. But then on the other side, I'm like, hey, look, Joe's in an impossible situation and he has figured out a way to keep Halo alive, basically, because, this very easily, the Halo community could be just like totally like out of control angry right now. Like, what? This is going to be another 6 months. This is trash, right? Like, it could easily be that way. But instead, people are actually excited and they seem to be fully willing to wait. And so, look, man, it is very hard to like kind of put your faith in 343 because it feels like, oh, we've been burned so many times. But I mean, if I had to put my faith in anyone, I would at this point be comfortable putting it with Joe Staten because he's proving through his actions and his results that he really is going to be the one that can really save and turn this ship around. And so how could I not feel good about that, you know? But that's what I think, guys. Hey, if you watched this far and you're not subscribed, please drop me a sub. As you can see, I don't beg for your subscription until the end of the video. So please subscribe if you're not already. And hey, that's all I got for now, so I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.